It's Sunday night. You open your banking app before the week starts. You look at your credit card balance. It's almost exactly where it was last month. You've been paying it for 6 months, every single month, on time, without missing one, and it barely moved. Maybe down $40, maybe $50. You've paid hundreds of dollars into this thing, and the number on the screen looks almost identical to the day you started. That feeling, that quiet, confusing, slightly embarrassing feeling that you must be doing something wrong is not yours. You didn't create it. It was engineered into the product. By the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why that balance doesn't move, who designed it that way, and the single switch that changes the entire dynamic. And you are never going to look at a minimum payment the same way again. Here's the thing about credit card debt that makes it different from every other financial problem you could have. It doesn't feel like debt. It feels like a tool, a sleek, tap-to-pay, fraud-protected, rewards-earning tool with a logo you trust, and every month it sends you a number, the minimum payment due, that feels like the responsible thing to pay. That number is the villain, not the card, not the company exactly, the minimum payment. That specific number, that specific design is one of the most profitable engineering decisions in the history of consumer finance. It was built, tested, refined, optimized over decades to be just large enough that you feel responsible paying it and just small enough that your balance almost never dies. It keeps you current, it keeps you comfortable, and it keeps you in the system indefinitely. Let's make the math visible so you can never unsee it. Say you have a $3,000 balance on a card with a 22% APR, annual percentage rate, the interest rate on what you owe. Your minimum payment comes out to around $65 a month. Sounds manageable? Feels responsible? Here's what's actually in that $65. Roughly $55 of it goes straight to interest, the cost of borrowing that money for another month. About $10 chips away at your actual balance. $10 on a $3,000 debt. At that rate, paying only the minimum, it takes years to clear that balance, not months. Years. And by the time it's gone, you've paid back dramatically more than you ever borrowed, because every month the remaining balance generates new interest, and you're paying interest on a number that barely moved. This is compounding. The same force that quietly builds wealth in an investment account quietly destroys it on a credit card statement. Same mechanism. Opposite direction. One works for you in the background while you sleep. The other one does too. The minimum payment is not a repayment plan. It is a subscription fee that keeps you enrolled in debt. If that just reframed what you've been paying every month, hit like. That's the whole point of being here. Half a second. Okay. Here is the part that is going to make you feel genuinely used. And I need you to actually sit with this one. You probably think credit card companies make their money from people like you only if you're carrying a balance. Struggling people, overspent people. And if you're careful, if you pay your bill, if you use it responsibly, they're basically just a service provider, a convenience. They are making money off you right now, every time you swipe, whether you carry a balance or not, whether you're being perfectly financially responsible or not. It's called an interchange fee. Every single time you use your card, coffee, groceries, gas, DoorDash, anything, the merchant pays a percentage of that transaction directly to the card network and your bank, somewhere between 1.5% and 3.5% of every sale. Every transaction, every merchant, every day, billions of times a year. Merchants can't opt out. If they want to accept the card, and they do, because that's how almost everyone pays, they pay the fee. And because that cost gets folded into their pricing, the things you buy are slightly more expensive than they would be in a world without card networks. Everyone pays those higher prices, but only card users get the rewards, which means people paying cash, people who often can't afford or don't qualify for credit cards, are subsidizing the airline miles of people who can, every day, without knowing it. The rewards program isn't generosity. It's a small piece of an extraction machine that runs through the entire economy, around the clock, whether you are being financially responsible or not. And it was built with your favorite logo on the front to make sure you keep feeding it. That's not a conspiracy. That's just the business model. You were just never supposed to see it this clearly. Real question, and I genuinely want to know. Drop your number in the comments. How many months have you been paying the same card without the balance really moving? Just the number. No judgment. I want to see what everyone's actually dealing with. Here is where I tell you something that might feel strange after everything I just said. The credit card is not your enemy. Used one specific way, it is genuinely one of the better financial tools available to you. It builds credit history, which affects your ability to rent, borrow, and eventually buy a home. It offers fraud protection that a debit card often cannot match. Someone drains your credit card, you dispute it, you pay nothing while it gets resolved. Someone drains your checking account, that is your actual money gone while you wait. And the rewards are real cashback, points, miles, but only under one specific condition. The condition is this: you never pay $1 of interest, ever. Carry a balance at 22%, and that 1.5% cashback evaporates inside the first 2 weeks of interest charges. You are paying the company 15 times what they are giving you back. The rewards program for someone carrying a balance is not a benefit. It is a bribe to keep you using the card that is quietly costing you a fortune. The card is a tool. The balance is the trap. One piece of plastic, two completely different products depending on how you use it. Remember that Sunday night? Banking app open, balance barely moved. That feeling. Here is the one switch that makes that feeling go away permanently. Autopay. Set to the full statement balance, not the minimum, not a fixed amount. The full balance automatically every single month, the moment the statement closes. Do that, and the entire dynamic inverts. The card company collects their interchange fees on your spending, but makes almost nothing in interest from you. You get the fraud protection, the credit history, the rewards for free. You are using their system without being consumed by it. If you are already carrying a balance and can't pay it in full right now, the priority is still clear. No investment reliably beats paying off 22% guaranteed interest, not index funds, not a high-yield savings account, not the stock market. Eliminating high-interest debt is the single highest guaranteed return available to most people. Do that first, everything else after. One switch, full balance, autopay, the machine stops running on you. The credit card is one gear in a much bigger machine, one that includes banks, interest rates, inflation, and a dozen other mechanisms all quietly operating on your money in ways nobody explained in school. That is what this channel takes apart, one piece at a time. Subscribe if you want to keep going. New video every week. Go back to that Sunday night one more time. You opened the app, you looked at the balance, it barely moved, and somewhere in a quarterly earnings report you will never read, your minimum payment showed up as revenue, right next to the interchange fees from your groceries and your gas and your DoorDash order. All of it logged, processed, and counted. Not because you did something wrong, because you were never shown how the math worked, because the minimum payment was designed to feel like enough, because the rewards program was designed to feel like a gift, because the whole system was built to be invisible to the people running inside it. You weren't losing, you were being harvested. And now that you can see the machine, it cannot run on you the same way twice. Full balance, autopay, every month. That is the whole move. Next video, why your bank can lend out money that isn't theirs, and how that single fact explains every financial crisis you have ever heard of. If that Sunday night feeling just got a name, hit like. Drop how many months you've been paying the same balance in the comments, and subscribe, because there is a lot more of this machine left to look at.